hard to see the elevation difference. You can get a little better look at it down here, but it's hard to see how deep it actually is right now, but you can see a whole lot of black coming up, and it really sticks up quite a couple inches. So you can see the difference there, how high it is and how low it is around it. Big dip here. Just kind of see the elevation of the field too. You can see that kind of bows in the middle. Left field is much higher than everything else. Center field is kind of level. The threshold over there is pretty mixed up. Pitcher's mound is in disarray. So part of the mound is still there. A lot of it is kind of gone. I also think that our bases are slightly off. So you can see the plug here. You can't obviously see if I'm walking up a couple inches as I get to first. Even as we just center this, hopefully you can see that the base going to the next one is not actually a straight line. So when you come out here, we've got tearaway bases, and when they put the new ones in, they're not actually straight line. I'm walking on an angle right now to get to the base. So here are tearaway bases that haven't come out, not in very good shape, obviously. And from this one, it's also not a straight line. You're going on a, you probably can't see it, but you're going on a diagonal. It's probably a good, that would be a more straight line. But from the base, it's probably 2 feet deeper than it should be, or perhaps third is 2 feet, possibly even 3 feet closer to home than it should be. Once again, you're moving on an angle. Then you get over here, and on all the bases, there's low line areas, and then you go up to the base, which is just terrible for sliding. But you can see again, not a good base, not set in properly. Even as we just look here across the bases, you can see that third, the pitcher's mound, and first don't get into a straight line. I gotta tell you, this field actually looks pretty good right now. Looks like they sprayed some of the weeds going along the fence. But you can see everywhere for the fence pops out, so it bows out real far. This one you can see very well how far it bows out, so that way it can't come in and really be a safe playing surface. Threshold is pretty bad. Once again, they sprayed it and actually pulled. This is the best it's looked in a while. But another thing you may not be able to tell in the video is I'm walking on a ridge right now, so this part is elevated compared to both the infield that it leads up to and then the outfield that you come out of. So as you come down, there's a good change in elevation there. In some parts it's as bad as probably 8 to 12 inches, but in most parts it's at least 3-4 inches elevated. It's also just not clean. It's not uniform. You can tell they tried to do their best. They just don't quite know how to fix this kind of stuff. You can see it here once again. All of a sudden we've just got a straight line coming over here with some pretty serious elevation changes. You can even just see this ridge right up here. I'm sure you can even see that in the video where how big of a difference that is. And once again, we've got our fence problems where the fence is constantly coming up and out. So as you look down the fence here, you can see all the fences bowing out into the playing field. And then you get pieces like this where you got an edge there, and once again we've tried to fix it a couple times, just don't know how to do it. It's hard to see the elevation pitches in the outfield, but it's like a roly-poly field. It's not in good shape. Everything slants down here. You can see it kind of slants down and out. The center of the field is higher than everything else. The baselines are off. Home plate's a disaster, and also they just never know what mix to use. So this is it's just dirt. There's no give to it. It's unsafe for the girls to slide. They obviously don't want to slide. I got this windscreen, but it's kind of like putting lipstick on a pig. Makes it look a little bit better, but it doesn't make the field more playable, and that's the hard part, is that looks nice, but it doesn't really do much for the actual play. You can see that even it's floating in the wind. because we have a hard time finding a system to keep that pulled down. Pull ties just rip off right away, the zip ties. And as we just kind of look back here, you can see the field. And even as we come to home, big slope off. And believe it or not, because of the wind and the rain here over the summer and the months of unused, home plate actually looks about as good as it has in a long time. And it's hard to see on the video, but it's still sitting, if you're in the batter's box, it's probably a good 4 inches lower than home plate. During the season when they rake it, it actually is more pronounced, and home plate comes up to where it's constantly about 2 inches above the playing surface. Constantly worried about girls hurting themselves. So this is our field. I mean, sure, it's got a fence and it's got some dirt, but it's not much of a field. Pretty sure the bases are wrong. Pretty sure the lines are wrong. All kinds of elevation pitches. The edging is really off. The mix is off. And then we bump right up to the parking lot. And because we don't have the right mix and it's just dirt, you can see all the dirt just kind of skews into the parking lot. Over here, where the drainage isn't as bad, it's cleaner. You can actually see a clean edge between the asphalt and the dirt part. But then you get over here, and as you look kind of through the bleachers, it's all over the place. This red car, there's a drainage area underneath that red car, so then all the dirt ends up just pushing back here and going out onto the car. You can see behind home plate here how bad a shape the fence is in. These spikes are what we've tried to use to put it down before. What the maintenance program has used, they haven't worked. We do have a garage right there where we can store stuff, and there is water there for watering and stuff like that. So we do our best, but we just need some help to get it back up to par, and we need some help to figure out exactly how to make our field playable. We've got girls that work hard and are willing to work hard on this project, but we really need some help to make sure that we can get our field safe, playable, and something that our students and daughters and athletes can take pride in. Thank you very much. If you need anything, please let me know.